Hi there, good evening, folks, or whenever you are watching this. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night. Uh, this is a Euros pub quiz special. As I'd said, even though the regular quizzes on a Sunday and a Wednesday are over, because the European Championships would have been staged this year, and the final would have been upon us. This is a chance for anybody that's a big interest in football to take part in this Euros pub quiz special. So just like the Wednesday quizzes that used to do, 4 rounds, 10 questions each, and with this type one, I don't want any answers sent to me because I'll just not be picking up them, folks. So you can play along at home and I'll give the answers out at the end. Okay, so let's get started with it. Right, there we are. Okay, right, so as I say, Euro pub quiz. First round's a picture round. Then we're going to have a round where it's going to be name the missing goal scorer. Then a wee audio round for you, and then we'll finish off with a bit of Euros general knowledge. All right. So hope you're keeping safe, keeping well out there, folks. Let's get started with this one. As I say, first round, it's just picture round, and it is name the player. Name the player. Okay, there's number one for you. And in this situation, we all, as I always say, first and second name where appropriate. First and second name where appropriate. Okay, that is number one. Here is number two. Who is that? Remember, as I've always said in the old quizzes, you can pause these as you go along. Who is that one? Wee bit, going back a bit there. Quite rightly so. I've dressed appropriately for tonight. Football top on. I actually think they wore this at the 86th World Cup. I did think about wearing my French one, but that was actually the 82 World Cup as well. So, hey ho. Right, so that's number two. Here is number three. It should be all photos from European Championships, as you would imagine. Classic strip, that one as well, isn't it? Right. Don't know if I was a big fan of it, but as a class, it's very iconic. Very iconic. Right, so that's three. Here is number four. And in this circumstance, when I say first and second name, if you know this player, then it's only really one name you can give. Get the geese up dinner, but that was a kind of Nike with A strips around about that time. We all sort of did them in that style, didn't they? Quite unique in the number at the front there of the shirt as well. Okay, so that's number four. There's number five. Who is that? Let's go into that picture. Another classic Adidas top, that one. Tempted to say more about that, but I'm not going to. Not about the taupe, but more about the actual player himself. But I'm not. So I was thinking about it the other day there about this tournament, and obviously there would have been, 4 games staged in Glasgow at Hampden. 3 group games, which Scotland could have been 2 of them. Let's move on to number 6. Lotto, isn't it? Well, who knows? It could have been. Well, let's hope we're there next year. As I say, Scotland. I don't know when is that game going to be? Is it October? Because I heard Stevie Clark talking about it, and he was saying about the game being against Israel, but then Israel are in our Nations League again, aren't they? So I don't know if he was meaning that game or the playoff. Who knows? There's number 7. Hummel. That's not his name, though. But big exciting times. Because I was thinking about it when I was watching the 1978 World Cup on iPlayer the other night. It was the story of 78 and Scotland being there. Makes you feel sorry for Ali McLeod, actually. But the excitement of going there, thinking we could win it. But when you looked at the squad of players, Jesus, you know what I mean? What a team that was. But staying in a Mankey hotel and then wee Willie Johnson having to get carted out, testing positive, taking a sort of like an antihistamine, wasn't it? There's number 8, back to the old classic Adidas. You know what I mean? We've obviously felt really sorry for Willie Johnson. All the press were over him on the plane back home for Argentina. He was getting hounded by the media at Heathrow Airport. He was getting hounded by the media. The media were hounding his wife back home, and he couldn't. It was shocking. Then obviously beat with Peru prior to that, and then drew with Iran. And actually, it showed you the game. There's number 9. Actually showed you the game, and it was like really poor. Scotland were mince, absolutely mince. The goal that we scored with Iran, it was an own goal. It was one of the most bizarre own goals you'll ever see. But hey, we still threw it away. I mean, against Peru and Iran, we were 1-0 up in both the games when we threw both of the games away. And we went 1-0 down against the Dutch in the last game, but we won 3-2. There you go. Alright. So that's number 9. And your final one there. Another classic Adidas one. Definitely. Well, you know that era that was with the stripes, didn't you? Number 10 there. Who's he? But aye, yeah, really. But it made me think about the fact is, I remember the last World Cup that we were at, the last major championship Scotland was at, obviously was the World Cup 98 in France. 22 years ago. And I must admit, when I look back on that World Cup, we didn't have a great squad of players. They were alright. They were a good team, as in they worked hard. But I never have dreamt at that stage if you said to me, well, that would be it. We're only going to play in another major tournament for another, well, who knows? Could be 23 years. Let's hope it is. Let's hope we're there. Anyway, okay, so that's the end of round 1, folks. We'll have a wee break for you. And then as I say, your answers will be revealed at the end. But it's a good chance there just to have get a wee refreshment or whatever needs to be. And while you do that, we'll have a bit of Future Island Seals, a bit of Seasons waiting on you. you by, of course, Future Islands. Right, the next round is Name the Missing Goal Scorer. Name the missing goal scorer, folks. It's what you're going to see is a famous match from a previous European Championships. And you'll see the score line and the goal scorers, but there's a goal scorer missing out. Yeah. And it's you. I'm only just looking for the surname of the goal scorer. All right. So it's quite self-explanatory as goes. Let's see, as we see here. So round 2, question number 1. This game was a group stage game in Euro 2000, and Yugoslavia 3, Spain 4. Yugoslavia's goals were Milosevic, Govdarica, and Komlenovic. And for Spain, we had Alfonso with 2 goals, Muniz with 1, and who scored the penalty in the 4th minute of injury time? Who scored that? I think it was the 3rd goal. It was the equaliser there. Who scored for Spain? Who took Spain's penalties really back then? Euro 2000. Suppose I read it. I do remember John Motson not going mental when Alfonso scored the winner. I think, did Spain need to win the game to go through to the quarterfinals to get through the group? And they scored two goals in injury time to transform the game from being 3-2 down to 1-4-3. But he did go a bit mental when Alfonso scored. Okay, right. Let's move on to your next one. Number 2, this was from, I had to put this in. From the group stage at Euro 92, Scotland 3, the CIS 0. McClair got the second goal and McAllister scored for the penalty spot in the 84th minute. But who scored Scotland's opener? Who scored Scotland's opener? After 7 minutes, which was the last group game of that. We were already out by then, but the CIS were still a chance of going through. I think they beat us 2-0. They went up, and maybe some of you out there, maybe the younger generation are going, who is CIS? Are they not an insurance company? Well, they are, but this was obviously the USSR had that's Adidas sign, Gary. For that, it's not anyway. The Soviet Union had broke up, but they had qualified as the Soviet Union, and they said that they could still play together, but they were known as the Commonwealth of Independent States. So it was a good victory for Scotland. But who scored the opener? Some of you might go, well, Gary came back after the goalkeeper, but no, I'm not. It's no. I think was it Dimitri Karim was the keeper. It's not. Who had the shot that went in off the post via the keeper? There, I've gave you a load of information there. All right. Okay, we go back to Euro 1984, and the group stage. Denmark against Belgium, and Denmark won that game by 3-2. Arneson with a penalty, Brill there with a goal for Belgium, Keulemans and Verkotteren. But who scored the winner in the 84th minute for the Danes? Who was that person? Who was that player? That's one championships that if I was to say to go back and watch, if you can, that I think that's when the European Championships really sort of took off, in my view. But maybe that was because that's the first one I can kind of remember as a kid. And but there was some games absolutely brilliant. Some of the games in there were just brilliant. So if you can go back and watch it. But who scored the winning goal for Denmark there in that game to make it 3-2? And I think they got through to the semi-finals due to that. Right, round 2, question 4. Well, no, of course we know it's round 2, Gary. This is from Euro 2004 in the group stage. Netherlands 2, the Czech Republic 3. And the Dutch scored through Buma in the 4th minute, and then Van Nistelrooy in 19 minutes to go 2-0 up. But then Kohler and Milan Baros equalised in the 71st minute. But who got the winner 2 minutes from time? Who got the winner 2 minutes from time? I know that a lot of some of these are like, geez, oh Gary, I remember that. What a mighty, it's bad enough trying to remember some of the finals itself, but group stage games. This is just a bit of a wee quiz here for especially your enthusiasts out there. And I know there's a lot of football encyclopedias out there talking about their brain, man. You know. Okay. Right, number 5, let's go into that. And this is from Euro 88. And the group stage, England 0, Republic of Ireland 1. And who scored that goal after 6 minutes? 6 minutes. Might not look like it was a classic game, but it was kind of like a significant game in the respect for the Irish. They were unlucky in that tournament. Okay. Right, let's move on to number 6. This is the quarter-final of Euro 2004. Portugal 2, England 2 after extra time. England going in front there through Michael Owen after 3 minutes. Then Hilda Postiga equalised in 7 minutes from time. Then Rui Costa put the Portuguese ahead with 10 minutes to go in extra time. But then who equalised for England 5 minutes from time in extra time to take it to penalties, which, as we know, they ultimately lost. But who did get the late equaliser for England? It was a cracking game, that as well. And give them their due, England were really good that tournament. You know, they really did look strong. And they'll be kicking themselves if they never get through that, because then, well, I think, I better not talk too much in case any of these come up in later questions, but they were, you know, they will be frustrated at the fact of that one. Was that the one where, no, that was the game against Argentina in 98, wasn't it? But did England not get a goal chopped half in that game as well? Was it Sol Campbell or something? Or I'm sure somebody scored for a corner or something, and it was a big hoo-ha about it. Anyway. Right, number 7, we go back to Euro 92 in the semi-final between Sweden and West Germany, which West Germany won by 3-2. Thomas Hassler, former Roma man, putting the West Germans ahead before Thomas Broll, who then made it 2-0 for the Germans in the 59th minute. Then Brolin put a goal back from the penalty spot. And then this same player made it 3-1 for West Germany, 88 minutes, before Kenneth Anderson scored a late goal to make it a tens finish for the West Germans. Good game that as well. I do remember that one as well. But who scored the 2 goals for West Germany in the 59th and the 88th minute at Euro 92? 2 classic semi-finals, in fact, if I remember correctly, that European Championships. Okay, right, question number 8. And we go to the semi-final in Euro 2008, where Germany beat Turkey by 3-2. Borral had given the Turks the lead after 22 minutes, then Bastian Schweinsteiger equalised after 26 minutes. Before that, your man Miroslav Klose, made it 2-1 with 11 minutes left on the clock. And then Semi equalised, and he was just getting a wee bit excited, Semi, but then that was killed off with a minute to go by whom for Germany, who scored the last minute winner in the 89th minute. So you'll see it as, and I didn't say that, but it's the one that's obviously highlighted in red that I'm looking for. Yeah, you knew that, didn't you? Okay. Remember, you can pause these to have a think over them, or rewind them back when you want. Right, let's go to the semi-final at the European Championships in 1988, where the Netherlands beat West Germany by 2-1 in their own backyard, of course. Germans did take the lead from Lothar Matthäus from the penalty spot after 55 minutes, and Ronald Koeman then did likewise from the penalty spot after 74, but who scored the late winner in the 88th minute for the Dutch? So West Germany went ahead through Matthäus, then Big Koeman. They two were like real stalwarts, they two, weren't they? For the respective nations. You know what I mean? Iconic players of that time. Both knew how to score goals. Dead ball or open play. Brilliant players. Phenomenal talents, as we would say. But who was it that got the winner? And I do remember the goal. And your final one, number 10, we go to the final of Euro 2012, where the Spanish humbled the Italians by 4-0 to win their second European Championships. Well, we had David Silva put them ahead after 14th minute, then Alba, the Barca player, scored in the 41st minute, who scored the third goal in the 84th minute before Juan Mata rounded things off with 2 minutes to go. We're looking for the player that scored the third goal for Spain in that final with 6 minutes to kill the game off completely. And I do remember one of the icons of Italian football, Andrea Pirlo, having a few tears, shall we say, at the final whistle, because he kind of knew that was his last chance, really, to win the European Championships, wasn't it? Was he in the World Cup squad in 2006? Sure he was, wasn't he? Anyway. Okay, who scored the third for Spain? Few might be asking, oh, God, it could be anybody. I know it could be, but I've not put anybody that you go, who the fuck was that? If you know where I'm coming from. Aye. Right, okay, we'll have a wee break from that just now. And we'll get back with round 3 in a moment. Let's have a bit of disclosure on their new track, Energy. Sounds like a good football song, this.
What up, what up, what up, what up? Alright, look. Just in case you ain't got it by now, listen to me. Bring it in. If you are alive, I know you ain't reached your best yet. You got more. You could do more. You could see more. You could be more, alright? Right now, you should feel invincible, powerful, strong. Look, where your focus goes, your energy flows. Are you hearing me? Now we're gonna take it to another level. be. You thinking of negative stuff. You talking negativity. You in that negative zone. I need you to do me a favor. I need you to know that in order for you to get to that next level, the one thing you need to do to go where you've never gone before is to change the way you think. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. Are you hearing me?
Disclosure there with energy there for that one. Right, let's see what your next round is. Oh, this is an audio one, folks. You're going to hear a goal from a European Championships tournament. Simply tell me, I'll accept either. Just tell me the year that this goal was scored. Okay. So if you think back and you go, God, I remember that, I was in whatever country, then think of when that country or countries staged the European Championships, okay? To be honest, I'm not going to check the answers anyway, I've just realised that, so put down what you want, really. Stu's going to be checking after your answers. Right, so, here we go. So, as I say, name the tournament. Let's get the first one up. Okay. As I always say in these situations, folks, this will disappear when you hear the audio. It's just the way this thing works. Okay. Here we go. Here's your first one.
It's a very open game now. Portugal are taking chances. Vigo shot. Oh, just flew it. England 2, Portugal 1.
Okay, so that was that one. You can rewind them back. I'll not play them again because I've just not got the time to. And I've lost the plot here. Oh, God. Right, here we go. Right, so there we are. Right, so that was number 1. Okay, here comes number 2, folks, number 2. Not looking for the goal scorer or the teams involved, just the tournament where this goal was scored. Okay, most of them are pretty iconic, I would say. Okay, here we go. Here's your next one.
Poborski's done. A brilliant goal. A moment of genius from Poborski, and against all odds and totally against the run of play, it's the Czech Republic who are in front.
Okay, so that was number 2, as I say, number 2. Right, here's number 3, folks, number 3. Which tournament is this from? Okay, as I say, you can rewind that back and listen to it again, over and over again if you wish to. It's up to you. Right, here we go with number 4. Number 4 for you.
Tigana, through to his right,
And Platini through the middle. Tigana again. Tigana. Platini. Goal! Platini for France with a minute to go. It's 3-2. I've not seen a match like this year.
Sorry about that. Going to flick on to the next one. But, yep. Which tournament was that one? Which year? It was number 4. Here we go with number 5. Okay, number 5 for you. Listen up.
McAllister sets it up for McCoist. Oh, yes! McCoist! 10 minutes to half-time, and Scotland's biggest hero provides a goal after missing 2 much easier chances.
He did indeed, Alan. Missed a few great chances prior to that goal. But anyway, he scored. Which tournament was that? Come on, you should know that one. Right, we move on to number 6 now. Again, name the tournament.
Montalivo. And Balotelli in the clear. And onside. It's Mario Balotelli. 2-0! Thundered into the net. That is a stunning strike from Mario Balotelli. Celebration wasn't bad either.
Neuer is right up there with the very best. He doesn't even move.
Classic goal that. But from what tournament was it? Okay, that was number 6. Let's move on to number 7 for you now. Just double check, making sure I'm in the right place here. Right, here we go. Listen up with this one.
Van Tegelen's got support here from Arnold Muren. Van Basten's on the far side of the penalty area now to volley it. Oh, I say, what a goal!
England versus Iceland.
Well, you've got a clue what's coming up with the next question. Some of these are a bit fast, but anyway. That was number 7. Here's number 8. You've got an idea of it, don't you?
It's found Gylfi Sigurdsson. He set up a chance here for Sigurdsson. It's 2-1 to Iceland. Joe Hart couldn't keep it out. Corbin Sigurdsson has given the outsiders the lead. Another bad moment for Joe Hart at these.
Yeah. You could tell with Clive Tilsley's voice there, he just completely lost it there. He's just like, I can't believe that's happened. You can't even, when you listen back to it again, you can't even see it. They've scored, but anyway. Right, that was number 8. Let's move on to number 9. And again, name the tournament. This goal was scored.
Finding some potency. They need a goal, and they've 2 up here. Ibrahimovic! What a goal! What a goal from Zlatan Ibrahimovic! Quite magnificent, and that's why he's one of the best in the world. A sensational volley from the Swedish captain.
Okay, so that was number 9. And here's your final one, number 10, folks. Number 10 to round things off.
Bale. Good run from Aaron Ramsey, well found. Dinked in towards Robson. Carnu, Taylor's available. What a turn! What a goal! What a goal from Hal Robson Carnu!
Okay, I know you're not getting to see these goals, although I am, which is nice. But yeah, You can maybe tell with the commentary as to what they were. Okay, as I said before, you can rewind any of them back and go back through them. Sorry, I was just checking there. I nearly tripped over my. You can rewind some of them back and go through them. Okay, right. Let's have another wee break for the moment before we get to the last round. And let's have a little bit of Ash. It's a girl from Mars, you know.
Do you remember a time when you were a girl from Mars? I don't know if you knew that. I would stay up late playing cards and you were into and cigars. And she never told me her name. I still love you, the girl from Mars. Sitting in our dreamy days by the water's edge on a cool summer night, fireflies and stars in the sky gently blowing right from your cigarette. The breeze blowing softly on my face reminds me of something else, something that in my memory's been misplaced. Suddenly all comes back, and as I look to the stars, I remember the time when you were gone from Mars. I don't know if you knew that. Always there playing cards, we went to the cigars, but she never told me her name. I still love you, the girl from Mars. Searching through the darkness over the moonlit strand, electricity in the air, twisting all through the night on the terrace. Now that summer is here, I know that you are almost in love with me. I can see it in your eyes, strange light shimmering over the sea tonight, and it almost blows my mind. And as I look to the stars, I remember the time when you were from Mars. I don't know if you knew that. Always there playing cards, we were into and cigars, but she never told me her name. I still love you, the girl from Mars.
A wee bit of Ash there with Girl from Mars there for you. Okay, so, right, let's move on to your next round, which is Euros General Knowledge. Okay, so just 10 questions about the Euros here, folks, as it has been all this time anyway. Right, okay, so here is question number 1 of round 4. What unique stat do both Oliver Bierhoff and David Trezeguet hold? I suppose I better put that. Or have in common. There we go. Just make these wee adjustments while we're going along, you know. That's just to be done. Right, so what unique stat do both Oliver Bierhoff and David Trezeguet have in common? If you have any sort of unique or any ideas for any sort of quizzes that you would maybe want me to do, I'm not going to do them like every week or anything. It'll be here and there when I've got the time. Just let us know and I'll see what I can do. Nothing too bizarre. I do think that just as a wee Christmassy gift, I might put up all my quiz questions over the past few months on Amazon, so it might be available for there as a wee Christmassy gift if you're a thing there. You know, hopefully we're all back to some sort of normality in Christmas and seeing family and friends and what have you, and sit around after your Christmas dinner and do Gary's pub quiz as a book. Maybe a wee stocking filler. Right, question number 2. When Czechoslovakia caused a shock and beat West Germany in the 1976 final, in which city was the final held? When Czechoslovakia caused a shock and beat West Germany in the 1976 final, in which city was the final held? Of course, it would be a shock in that sense because West Germany were then the current world champions, weren't they? Where was that final held? Because I think back then wasn't it like a big tournament, or well, it was never like early days. It wasn't it was like when they go to the last 4 through qualifying. I think the top 4 went and played semi-finals and final, and a third place playoff back then as well, in a country. And yeah, and in '76, that country had 2 cities that hosted games. And which one of those cities hosted the final? If you can remember that far back. Okay. Question number 3. Who was top goal scorer at the 2016 tournament? Who was top goal scorer at the 2016 tournament? Some of these are, as I say, it's quite tough. Quite tough. Okay, who was top goal scorer at the 2016 tournament? Can I believe that? 4 years ago? I mean, it's like, doesn't it seem that as long ago? If you know what I mean? I know it was 4 years, but it just seems a bit like it was only a couple of years ago. No, it was World Cup, Gary. Oh, aye, so it was. Right, question number 4. Which nation won the first tournament in 1960 and subsequently have lost 3 finals? Which nation won the first tournament in 1960 and subsequently lost 3 finals? Lost in 3 subsequent finals. Bloody shame. Wonder who that could be. I know it's a bit, but what do you prefer actually? The Euros or the World Cup? And I'll split that. Do you prefer the Euros as it currently is, with 24 teams in it? Previous to that was 16. Or do you like it when it was way back and it was just 8 teams in it? Like the 8 best teams in Europe? Because the group, the group games back then, so you're looking back at 1980, 1984 and 1988 and 92, you're looking at them and there was some hellier group games then, you know what I mean? I just think sometimes in the World Cup with the group games you get it's a bit one-sided, that game, innit? Whereas the Euros is a bit more closely matched, I think. Actually, I know this might sound good, I actually prefer the Euros. Okay, you don't get Brazil and Argentina and that in it, but I don't know. Anyway. Question 5. Which was the last host nation to win the Euros? Which was the last host nations to win the Euros? I think in the main, I would say the European Championships have been, in terms of the quality of games overall, averaged out. I would say that it's better quality and more exciting. If I think back on them, you know, I've already spoke to you about one of them, which I thought was great, and you should go back. Euro 2000 was really good. 2004 was pretty good. 2008, I would say they're all pretty good. Question number 6. Which player has played a record 21 matches in the European Championships? Which player has played a record 21 matches in the European Championships? That's the finals. We're only dealing with the finals here. With no questions relating to qualifying tournaments, of course, as you've probably already noticed. And that's the same with this question here. Although I don't know how it will be with this tournament, as we'll see next year. It's going to be all across Europe. Environmentally, I don't think it's a great idea, is it? These flights, fans moving all across Europe and what have you. And Greta Thunberg will not be happy, and quite rightly so. Right, moving on to question number 7. Which is the only player to have scored 2 hat-tricks at the Euros, which was coincidentally in consecutive matches? Only one player has scored 2 hat-tricks in the history of the Euros. Who was he? And coincidentally, it was in consecutive matches at the same tournament. Tournament. Oh. Might do a horse racing quiz. Speciality quiz. I'll ruffle a few feathers. Anyway, only the people who would tune in would be the only ones that would be interested in it, so that's the thing. It's not like the other quizzes when I used to do it and people were like, oh God, he's put in a horse racing round. Okay. Right. Question number 8. Otto Rehhagel steered which nation to European Championship glory? The only foreign manager to achieve this feat, i.e. every other manager or head coach that has won the European Championships has done it with the country of their birth, from where they're from. Otto Rehhagel did it with which nation? So wasn't he Germany? Don't he really come into all that? I'm starting to doubt myself. Was he the only one that's done it? I'm sure he is. Anyway, we could just then split it as Rehhagel won the European Championships with what nation. That's the main gist of that question anyway. Question number 9. Which final is the only one to have seen a player red carded? Which final is the only one to have seen a player red carded? So the final. And again, I'll accept the year here, or which 2 nations were involved in that final. So it's unlike the World Cups finals. I've seen a few red cards, haven't they? European Championships has only seen 1 final with a red card. Not looking for who it was, I'm just looking for what year that final is. So, if you don't know, just have a guess, I say. Okay, and your final question. Excuse me. Granit Xhaka of Switzerland played against his brother Toulant at Euro 2016. Which nation was his sibling playing for? Granit Xhaka of Switzerland played against his brother Toulant at Euro 2016. Which nation was his sibling playing for? So the first time siblings have ever played against each other in European Championships. And Toulant was up against his brother Granit, who was playing for Switzerland, and who was Toulant playing for? I think I've said your name right, mate. If I've not, I'm sorry. Apologies. So if you remember back to Euro 2016, you think it might not have been the group game, it might have been something else. But anyway, if you think who Switzerland played at 2016 might help you. No, you don't have a clue. Right, okay. Just have a guess. Okay, right. That's that, folks. I'll get you the answers in a wee moment. For the moment, let's have a bit of... Well, we're nearly back to life, aren't we? So a bit of salty soul.
Back to life, back to reality, back to life, back to reality, back to life, back to reality, back to the here and now, yeah. Show me how, decide what you want from me. Tell me maybe I could be there for you.
Classic song there. I needed to say it twice nearly. Back to Life by Soul to Soul. Right, let's get back to the quiz and your answers, folks. Right, let's go to the first round, which was the picture round. We were looking, of course, for the answers to these. Right, number one there is Alain Giresse, of course, from '84. Two is, a lot of people will know it from the penalty style, and a few players still do this to this day, the Panenka. That's Antonin Panenka, the Czechoslovakian who scored that winning penalty for the Czechs back in '76. Number three, that's Jan Wouters, the Dutchman. Number four is Maniche of Portugal back in 2004 there. Number five, that's Stefan Kuntz. Got to be careful how you say that surname. From Euro 96. Also from Euro 96, that's the Croatian Davor Suker. That's when he kind of really announced himself on the world stage. Number seven, another player from who announced himself on the world stage at Euro 92. It's John Jensen. Don't think he scored a goal after that at all. Number eight is David Villa, of course, of Spain. Number nine, from the Euro Championships in '88, again, that's Igor Belanov for the Soviet Union. And number 10 from Euro 92, again, that's Thomas Brolin, playing there for the hosts, which of course was Sweden. There's just confirmation of your answers there, folks. Okay. Moving on to the next round, the goal scorer answers. We looked at Spain against Yugoslavia in Euro 2000, and the player that scored the penalty was Mendieta. Question 2, when Scotland beat the CIS 3-0, who scored the opening goal for Scotland? It was Paul McStay. Number 3, when Denmark beat Belgium at the 84 tournament, who scored the winning goal for Denmark to make it 3-2? That was Preben Elkjær. Number 4, at Euro 2004, the Czechs came back from 2-0 down to beat the Dutch 3-2. Who scored the third goal there for the Czechs? That was Vladimir Smicer. Number 5, that famous victory for the Irish against England at the 1988 Championships was, of course, scored by Ray Houghton. Number 6, the equaliser, late equaliser in extra time at Euro 2004 for England against Portugal to make it 2-2 was Frank Lampard. Number 7, when the Germans beat hosts Sweden in the semi-finals in Euro 92. Who scored a double there for the Germans? It was Karl-Heinz Riedler. We were looking for there. Question 8, sticking with Germany, another 3-2 victory for them, this time at the European Championships in 2008. When they beat Turkey 3-2. The late winner came from Philip Lahm. Number 9, when the Dutch beat the West Germany, the hosts, late on in the semi-finals at Euro 1988 again. And Van Basten was the man that got that late winner. And number 10, when Spain beat Italy 4-0, one of the biggest, I think it's the biggest margin victory in a European Championships final in 2012. Who scored the third of the 4 goals for Spain? It was Fernando Torres. Right, the audio one, I'll not play the clips again, I'll just give you the tournaments. We were looking for the one that you heard there was Luis Figo scoring against England. That was at Euro 2000. 2 was Karl Poborski scoring against Portugal, and that was at 1996 tournament. Number 3, you heard Ronnie Whelan's goal against the USSR at the Euros in 1988. Number 4, you heard the last minute winner there from Michel Platini against Portugal in the semi-finals at the 1984 tournament. Number 5, you had Ali McCoist's winning goal against Switzerland, all in vain in the end, but that was it, of course, Euro 1996. Number 6, you heard from, I think it was the semi-final against Germany, Mario Balotelli scoring the decisive second goal at the 2012 tournament. Number 7, the famous goal in 1988 final by Marco van Basten against the Soviets. Number 8 was one of the big shocks in Euro history, I would say, in the last 16 when Iceland beat England by 2-1. You heard Sigborsson's goal, and that was in 2016, of course. Number 9 was the volley, the magnificent volley by Zlatan Ibrahimovic against France, and that was at Euro 2012. And to round things off, I had to put this one in because it was a classic goal, and that was in the quarter-finals at the European Championships in 2016, of course. Simply we think that was Robson Kanu, of course, with the sort of Cruyff-like turn to beat the Belgians at Euro 2016. Right, your final round was general knowledge of the Euros. Question 1, what unique stat do both Oliver Bierhoff and David Trezeguet hold? Well, they both scored golden goals in finals in 96 and 2000 respectively. Question 2, when Czechoslovakia caused a shock and beat West Germany in the 1976 final, in which city was the final held? That was in Belgrade. Question 3, who was the top goal scorer at the 2016 tournament? That was the Frenchman Antoine Griezmann. Question 4, which nation won the first tournament in 1960 and subsequently have lost 3 finals? That's the Soviet Union. Question 5, which was the last host nation to win the Euros? It was France in 1984. Question 6, which player has played a record 21 matches in the European Championships? That's the Portuguese Cristiano Ronaldo. Question 7, which is the only player to have scored 2 hat-tricks at the Euros, which was in consecutive matches? That was, of course, Michel Platini in 1984. Number 8, Otto Rehago steered which nation to the European Championship glory? Of course, that was Greece. And question 9, which final is the only one to have been seen a player red carded? It was the final in '84 against France against Spain, and it was the Frenchman Vion Leroux that was sent off. And question 10, Granit Xhaka of Switzerland played against his brother Toulant at the 2016 Euros. Which nation was his sibling playing for? He was playing for Albania. Albania. All right, folks. Right, that is that. Okay. Hope you enjoyed this wee special one. Special quiz. There might be more to come in due course. Keep tuned. So just look out, and more quizzes will follow. But just click on the subscribe button here on my YouTube channel, and you will receive updates when a new quiz is released. When that will be, you will have to wait and see. But for the moment, folks, and I will just end off in this traditional fashion.
Now I like to say goodbye to all my fellow friends. And if you like this shit on here, I'll see your ass again.
Yes, I will do indeed, folks. If you do like that, I will see you again. All right. Take care of yourself, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Any feedback's much appreciated, and any ideas on any other wee sort of speciality quizzes from now until we get back up and running fully would be appreciated. Adios, folks. Enjoy your footy. Oh, what footy, Gary? Well, enjoy some. Enjoy the pub if you're back there already. See you later, folks.